You know what's kind of funny? On the website, Nintendo had like you know how Nintendo has their little news section on the website.
Yeah.
There's a thing on there that says that's like promoting Mii's.
Oh.
And it's talking about, hey, here's all these games you can buy on the Switch to have Mii, that where you can play as a Mii. And I just kind of find that ironic. After all the talk about the sports mates. It's kind of funny though, because I remember, yeah, when Switch Sports was first announced, obviously we all saw the logo and it was like, hey, look, cool, we're actually getting it. And then we saw the screen with like the Switch, with like all the sports mates, and immediately, I get worried. Immediately, I'm like, oh no, hold on a second, is this about to be DOA? Like, I was, at least at the time, I was actually kind of going as far as to say that, like, okay, if it's only these characters, this might actually be DOA. Or effectively.
Oh no.
Gotcha, bitch!
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, so if we have Splatoon 3 coming out in September, and the next console is coming out in probably, like, late 2024, will it be too soon for a fourth game? But then again, the first game was only a 2-year gap. And the reason why that didn't feel that weird is because it was a new console. But the difference is that the Wii U to the Switch was a completely clean break. Oh, shit! Whereas the Switch 2 is gonna play Switch games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen people that are, like, half convinced that we're not going to get backwards compatibility because Nintendo's Nintendo, and I'm sitting here like, are you serious? You really think they're that boneheaded? Like, yes, they are very boneheaded in many ways, but they're not that boneheaded. They are not going to not give us backwards compatibility. The only reason why the Switch didn't have backwards compatibility is because it didn't have a disc slot. And also because it was a completely new architecture. Again, it was a completely clean break. Whereas, like, you know, the GameCube, Wii, and Wii U all used the same architecture. That's why we had that.
You can finish the map, by the way.
Yes, I don't know why I'm just sitting here. Dang it.
Dumbass!
Not close enough, I guess. Wait, what would the launch title be? Well, as much as some people still think it's a possibility, it's not going to be Zelda. I also don't think it's going to be Prime 4. I think that is still going to come out on the Switch. It'll be like one of the last games, but I think it will come out on the Switch still. It'll be like a early 2024 game or something. Like, it'll be one of the last ones. It'll be like the Color Splash.
Yeah, kinda.
Where, like, it's like the last game that's not like a cross-gen title or something. So if it's not Zelda and it's not Metroid, then that leaves us with two options that make any sense. That being like a new 3D Mario, or even better, arguably, a certain game people have been wanting for a very, very, very long time now. It has a certain number on it. It starts with an M, it ends with a T, but there's something else there. Okay, whatever. That's a stupid thing I'm trying to do here. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever had a Mario Kart at launch for any system, not even the N64. I think I know the N64 launched with Mario 64, but I don't think Mario Kart 64 came out until like a few months later. So I don't think we've ever had a Mario Kart at launch. Definitely not on a home console, at least. I mean, I think people are less desperate now that we have the DLC, even though the DLC has its own controversies because it's tour ports and whatever, but still, even with the DLC, people still very much want a 9. And any chance of a 9 coming out on the Switch is deader than dead. So, and there's no way they're gonna put it out. They're not gonna release it in like spring 2024 on like the regular Switch. That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
No, they're totally, because the entire reason the DLC exists is to hold us over. That is the entire purpose of it.
Yeah.
It's to hold us over until Mario Kart 9 comes out on the next system. Is the entire purpose. Although part of me kind of wishes, it's kind of like how like people wonder what could GTA 6 have looked like if it actually came out on like PS4 and Xbox One. Like what, like the closest thing we have to the closest thing we had to a GTA 6 on PS4 and Xbox One was Red Dead 2. So we did get to see, you know, the Rockstar. We did get to see a big budget Rockstar title that was built for the systems at least. But the next game is clearly going to be a next gen only game. There's no way that's going to be cross gen. So in some respects, it's always going to be like a thing that's lost to history. Is like, what would GTA 6 have looked like if it was made for the PS4 or Xbox One? At least of the ones we have right now. They are the definition of good enough.
Yeah.
They look just good enough that most people are gonna be like, whatever, it's more Mario Kart.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, well, yes, there was bickering, and I get it. Like, the grass doesn't look good. The grass, like the very plain, textureless grass, I don't like that. But outside of that, I think it's fine. It's clearly not as good as the base game, but outside of the grass, I think it's totally good enough. If they just updated the Wave 1 tracks to have like the grass from the base game, I think that would fix like that. I'd be pretty much happy with that. Mostly. Oh yeah, and also make it so that on Coconut Mall, the cars actually move.
Yeah.
Like if they just did some small things like that, I'd be fine with it. Like I think that so that was like the big one was Coconut Mall. Because Coconut Mall is like a beloved track. It's like the most beloved track in the entire series. There are things about it I'm not thrilled with, like the fact that the parking lot looks very barren. The fact that the cars don't move, so there's not really any challenge. You just kind of blitz right through it.
Yeah.
And also like that part where you're like we're going like when there's like that, wait, what would you call it, a half pipe or whatever? I don't know. Like what is that one, like I don't know what the word is. I know what I don't know. There's like there's like a section where you have to like turn 180 degrees on your way to like the ramp where you go to the parking lot.
Oh.
I think that's the one I'm talking about. I don't know. Point is, some of the turns feel like they should have like the gravity, or like they feel like they're just a bit too cramped, where you're almost guaranteed to hit the wall at least once. I don't know. That might just be me. And I will say that even on the tracks that are like for example, Ninja Hideaway is like universally considered the best track in Wave 1. And it is a good track. But even it, I can tell, you can tell that it definitely came from Tour. And not really the visuals. I mean, yes, you can tell the visuals are pulled from Tour, like all the other tracks. Although I think it disguises it better than some of the others.
Damn it!
Like it doesn't really feel like a Tour track too much. But even though it literally was designed for Tour. But there are some sections where you're drifting and it is kind of easy to hit the wall because like the character. So that's another thing people talked about is like you're smaller than like some of the characters in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Which like that's definitely more of a nitpick more than anything, but like that I think that does actually affect the tracks in some cases. I think that all of like the tracks that are like literally from Tour, like Paris Promenade and Ninja Hideaway and that stuff, I think those ones hold up pretty well. Although on Paris Promenade, that track does have a decent amount of grass. And I think it's not a big deal on that track, but you can tell Like also like the trees are definitely Tour trees because they're like low poly and they're cartoony. Also, actually, I think Tour Circuit looks okay. I think that one's okay, but Shroom Ridge is kind of obvious. I mean, all the tracks that have the grass have that problem, but I think how blatant it is depends on. Yeah, we just got smoked.
That keeps happening. I'm pretty sure throughout this entire play session, we've only had one win.
Actually, another track that you can tell is definitely from Tour. Okay, so the two big things that tell you it's a Tour track is the plastic grass and the rocks. Because the rocky cliffs are very blatant. Is the best word I can think of. Like they're very in your face with how low poly they are. And part of that is just because of like the cartoony style that Tour has compared to like the more realistic style of 8. But I don't know. Oh yeah, Sky Garden. Sky Garden's kind of interesting because I think it mostly holds up, but it's really awkward when there's another stage that's just like it that's already in the game that looks like 3 times better. Because it's basically discount what's the name? Cloud Top Cruise.
Yeah.
It's basically discount Cloud Top Cruise. And Cloud Top Cruise looks really, really good. And Sky Garden just kind of looks okay by comparison. Again, it's that whole thing of it's not bad, it's just okay. Whereas, like, I think definitely, like
it was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Tokyo Blur definitely looks much better than Sky Garden.
Oh, this may have been a mistake.
Damn, not a big surprise.
I'm trying to use, like, the teleport thing more. Which is especially important in tower control. When you need to make sure there's at least one person on the darn thing.
That's currently me. Not anymore.
And now it's nobody. We're at 5 though, at least. But we still got like 2 minutes. Yes, Seaman killed me.
Oh my god.
Or I should say, Seaman. It's that whole thing. It's Seaman, not Seaman. Yeah, one thing about the whole...
This guy and me were just continuously trying to kill each other, and we eventually did kill each other.
Yeah, one of the things about like the whole like Mario Kart like Tour port thing is that I remember like the people that did not like that there was a Tour port at all. They'd bring up the like, okay, well, what if like in like Smash they just like ported a stage from a mobile game? You'd be fine with it then, or something, or something like that. And it's kind of like, to be fair, I think people would have a problem with that as well. But I guess here's the reason why ultimately this entire thing works at the end of the day. It comes down to one simple fact. People are desperate for new Mario Kart content that isn't on mobile. And that's why this ultimately works. If Mario Kart 9, if Mario Kart 9's DLC looked like this, there'd be way more complaints.
Yeah.
Or hell, if Mario Kart 9 in general looked like this, there'd be way more complaints. But the reason why, at the end of the day, it's acceptable is because it is a stopgap. It is very obviously a blatant stopgap just to shut people up until the next console comes out.